Okay, guys, we are now gonna cover This Monster Wants to Eat Me, episode 10. And I gotta tell you something. Watching this last night, I realized something that Hinako, Shiori, and Miko. It's kind of interesting for this Yuri anime to be so gruesome, so good at the same time. That these three, it's kind of interesting to say three strategies. I mean, three. They suffer so much tragedy, and they're all connected into one, and that's interesting. Now, you know, last week was very heartbroken for Shiori, especially like with Hinako breaking up with her, saying you a monster, and then Shiori inviting Miko out on a zoo date. But we finally got the story of Shiori. This is one of her back. This is a backstory I was waiting for ever since that cliffhanger, and ever since that cliffhanger, I always ask myself, how is it gonna end? How is it gonna be? And I gotta tell you something. After watching this episode, it comes to my attention that the Uranus is not only strong, but I do understand what Shiori did. I do. For a mermaid like herself, I understand. I understand. Wait, when I said mermaid like myself, why I said that? But my point is, I've seen Shiori. Look, there comes a time when a person made a mistake, and sometimes you gotta own it. And sometimes you gotta make it up. Me personally, I'm a guy who forgive people. Unless you got a backstory as to why he or she did that. Just like I forgive Amo from Gotcha Kuda. I forgive Amo, which I don't like Rudo did. I mean, I prefer Rudo just one punch. Or the slap like Takashi did the Ray from High School did, like one slap. You know what I mean? Like that. What Shiori did, I understand. I don't blame her for that. She did the right thing. To me, does it upset it? Yeah. But she did a good reason. See? Forgiveness. But let's just show you this whole entire episode with just one big old firework of forgiveness and understandable. So without further ado, let's get right through with episode 10 of this. Okay. So this entire episode was just one big flashback. And when it comes to flashbacks, backstories, there's the answer to it. There's like an answer to like, oh my God, that explains so much. That explains every answer. Because previously throughout all these episodes, we find out that Hinako has mermaid blood. And I always said to myself, how did she even get the mermaid blood? Or how she even got her sister? Because she keep regenerating. So there's like the little scars, but it's not cutting no more. It's like a little scars. But how she get healed? That's the big question. Which is why we got the answers right here and Shiori's backstory. You see, Shiori was a run-of-the-mill mermaid. Just a yokai mermaid. There was a time when the villagers just take these poor infinite souls of children and let Shiori eat them, which was gruesome, by the way, because you get to see how she devoured a human. It's like, oh my God. Like the kid's leg, oh my God. But there was this other human who was fragile and all that. And for some reason, Shiori took a liking to this child. Didn't want to eat her because she looked so skinny-ish and rigid, They didn't find her taste. They didn't find nothing. Like nothing. Nothing. So it's like that right there was a little liking to her. It's like that was her first friend. That was like her first non-eating friend that she wanted. And the child wasn't even afraid of the mermaid. In fact, the child loved Shiori. She loves her. She likes her. She likes her. Like not one time she ever thought about eating her, not devour her, not one bit. Okay. So it's like, and Shiori's being nice. She's like, here, I'll give you my mermaid flesh. But then when she came back, she got so mad that she wanted to kill her to a point where she got bombs in her hand and started blowing up herself and she like committed suicide, double suicide. Like committed suicide. She got the handful of bombs, blows up her head. You can see the head animation popped off, and you see Shiori being ripped off too. Now, as she's floating in the sea like some seaweed, she sees as time passes, she sees life in the ocean. It's funny because all this time, if you watch this monster wants to eat me, there's like some metaphor with the ocean and Hinako and the ocean and Shiori. It's got this metaphor. The ocean is the metaphor of Shiori and Hinako in terms of like the where the ocean is, where it's like the darker the darker you're in the ocean, the hole in your heart collapse. Or if you see the brightness of the ocean, it cheers you. It's one of that. The ocean is the metaphor of this series. It is. So as Shiori going through this as the flow, she sees how life is. She sees whales, crabs, starfish, all these friendly fishes, schools of fish. She sees it, and then she got dread in the. Then she got dread in the confines of this corner rocks thing, and she saw little Hinako. That was the first time she saw little Hinako. The first time, and I gotta tell you this, I respect Hinako. So, oh my god, I'm now respecting Hinako as we speak. The fact that when Hinako was a little girl, she saw Shiori and not even afraid of her. She's not even afraid of her, guys. Like, she's not afraid of her. She's just looking at this creature and she said, "Are you okay?" Just literally looking at her, not one bit of fear. Like, "Oh my god, a monster!" No. And since then, she's been coming to see Shiori every single day, feeding her, just make her get better. It's like having a pet fish. But again, it's just feeding and taking care of Shiori, and this was the sign of love. This was Shiori's way of love right now. Like, she loves Hinako. And then when Shiori got full, when she's better now, remember, this is her yokai form. When she got better, there was a time when they showed like she wanted to eat her fingernails. She wanted to eat her pancreas. She wanted to drink the blood. She wanted to do all that. She wanted to devour Hinako. But for some reason she couldn't, because the love, this is where the Yuriness comes in. The love between a human and a yokai is just, it's like it's like a love between a human and a beast. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it was. That's what it was, a human and a monster. You could see that. I mean, ever since Hinako was a little girl taking care of Shiori, there was a time Shiori wanted to kill, but she sees love. She sees love so much so Hinako grabbed her by the face. It's like, oh my gosh, she loves her. And then at that moment in time, before she left, she gave her some offer of love, which is her mermaid blood. That makes freaking sense. Why the other yokai refused to devour her, because she got her yokai blood in her. That makes sense. That makes sense. Now the answers was right there. She had mermaid blood when she was a child. So she was half yokai before she was that. Okay, that makes sense. And then the car crash. Now the answers are right there. She could have died. She could have died with her brother, her mom, and dad. Hinako should have died with her family. But because Shiori gave her mermaid blood, she was able to survive. So Shiori was the one it's because of her blood that she was able to protect Hinako. And it was because of her, she said, "Live on forever." You know, those the words that she already said, the voices that she'd been telling Hinako, it was because of Shiori. Shiori was the one to protect Hinako because of her blood. That makes sense. She offered her blood to Hinako for her to live. That is love. I'm sorry. I gotta say it. That is freaking love. That is love. No bullshit. That is love. Okay. Okay, now what I was saying? Oh yeah. So now that we got the answers to this situation, now that we got the answer to this one, I see where this is going. And that explains how she went in her human form. That explains why she went in her human form and we found out, yeah, that was her human form just to see Hinako. So she just wanted to see her and, be with her. That all makes sense. That's why she's so attached to her. That is why she's so attached to her. Everything makes sense. Not to mention that scene where she the other yokais, little cockroaches yokais, would say, "Oh, this yokai wanted to devour her. This other yokai wanted to scratch her." And that was the same. And that was the other yokai that Miko took down. So there you go. That yokai hurt Hinako. That allowed Miko to attack that yokai. So it's like a chain of events all patching up. And that other and then Shiori was killing all those other yokais. That makes sense. Since day one, so it's like ever since then, Shiori was actually protecting her. She was actually trying to find closer to Hinako, not to devour her, but just more like be with her. Because again, it's just because you got mermaid blood. It's like, no, I'm not gonna devour you. So yeah, but the reason she only told Miko her story is because Miko is the only yokai that not only likes Hinako as well, but she understands. She protects the family. So she understands telling her will bring closure, even though those two hate each other, but it brings somewhat closer together. Now for Hinako's case, I feel like Shiori needs to speak to Hinako. I feel like she should. This is the time to tell her the actual truth and all that. I feel like it's time. I don't know what Hinako is gonna face. I mean, after what happened last week when she said that you're a monster, kind of hurt her feelings. I don't know, but hopefully it'll be a good start. But overall, though, this episode was really good. I mean, it's great. This was a great episode because we finally got the answers we wanted. Throughout these episodes, we found out what she got. Where Hinako got mermaid blood, she got injured, regenerated, no scar. We always want to know what's the answers. Now we got the answers we wanted. We finally got the answers we wanted from Miko's story and Shiori's story now. And I don't know how this is going to resolve in the next 2 episodes. Well, instead of 13, I might be wrong. But still, I can't wait to see the next episode. So stay tuned for next week.